Hi friends, if you've ever been curious about what it's like to do a craft market, you're in luck. I have a summer market coming up called West Coast Craft in San Francisco. If you're new here, my name is Joanne. I'm a sustainable designer. I have a small handmade business. I also do sewing content and tutorials, so if that's your thing, you're in the right place. So I thought it'd be fun to take you along the journey. I'll show you everything I pack, how I set up my display, and some behind the scenes of what it's actually like to have a small sustainable brand. Also, at the very end, I'll give you my honest thoughts. So let's get into it. So I've done a bunch of these markets in the past couple years, so I do have a running list of what I actually bring to these markets. This one's indoors, so my stuff is gonna be a little bit less as opposed to the outdoor markets. I have most of my stuff in my big closet, maybe put them into little sections, categories, just so it's easy for me to check off my list, and then I can show you what I got going on. So I'll go through my display items first, and the first on my list is the garment racks. I have two industrial folding garment racks and they fit in my compact car pretty easily. I kind of went the practical route since I knew I was going to do a lot of these markets, so I just invested on more sturdy, reliable racks. And I also built these custom shelves that fit on the bottom of these that allows me to have more kind of table space since I can't really have a table in this booth. I like to bring a couple rugs as well. This one's small enough to put in my change booth, and this one's just for the main part of my booth, and it's a outdoor rug, so it's easily washable. A floor length mirror because people want to see themselves in the clothes, so I make sure to always bring one of these. And I bought this on OfferUp, I believe, and it was super cheap, like $20. Another important item that I have to bring as a clothing vendor is a changing booth. So I went ahead and DIY'd one the other year. People love it. It's pretty fun looking and it fits the vibe of my clothes. So I made that out of PVC pipe, so I always have to remember to bring this rubber hammer with me. Otherwise, I'm gonna struggle putting it together and taking it apart. So I have to always remember to bring this rubber hammer as well as my changing booth. For respect for your time, I'm just gonna go through the rest pretty quickly. I like to bring a dress form. This allows me to display my newest make. I also like to bring this vintage ironing board. I like to put my signage and just other knickknacks on it. I like to put my little bowl of candy on there to give back to the community. Different types of hangers. I like these vintage knit ones, also just your practical wooden hangers with the no slip tape, then some pants hangers, and I also like to bring these metal ones that are strong enough for my jeans, my signage with info, business cards with vintage glass holders, which I like to put throughout my booth, a sale sign, shopping bags, extra hang tags and pins, card reader, clips and S-hooks, power bank, a sewing kit that includes a multi-tool, some needle and thread, and a crochet hook since I have some knits. Good morning. It's Friday. I have about a 6.5 hour drive to the venue. It's really nice because the market lets you set up the day before, so you're not super rushed in the morning of the day of the show. So I got a bunch of podcasts queued up, so let's get on the road. In 800 feet, turn left onto taking a little break from driving. I'm gonna eat some breakfast. This is some overnight oats I made, and I got this really nice text from my friend, and it's a daily devotional, and she thought of me, and I thought it was really nice. And I'm kind of going through my own faith-based journey, and so it was really sweet that she sent me this. So it's called Celebrate the Growth. And it ends with scripture. Then he broke through and transformed all my wailing into a whirling dance of ecstatic praise. He has torn the veil and lifted from me the sad heaviness of mourning. He wrapped me in the glory garments of gladness. Psalm 30:11. And I thought that was so sweet that my friend sent me that. She knows that I've been going through a transformation as well, and it was really nice. It's just a nice reminder. I haven't really talked about it much, but I lost a lot of people in my life, and a couple of them were kind of more recent. I've been just slowing down and trying to grieve properly and just figure out my life. But yeah, that's a nice little thing she sent me. So I'm just gonna enjoy my breakfast and I'll check with you guys later. Booth is all set up. Let me give you a tour. It's a wrap for day one, and I'm back at my Airbnb, just unwinding, taking off my makeup, and just kind of reflecting over day one. It was good. It was okay. I mean, I think that gauging from other vendors, like, it was slow for them too. So, you know, I don't feel as bad. It did feel a little light with the foot traffic. Basically, I just made like a little bit over my booth fee, and my booth fee was a little bit less because it was smaller. As you guys saw, it was, you know, it's a little snug, but I made it work. It was okay. I mean, I still have tomorrow, you know, I still have tomorrow all day, and Sundays are usually really good because there's a farmer's market in the same lot, and I just feel like people, I don't know, shop more on Sundays, I guess. I'm hopeful, and that's just like the gamble you have to take with these types of markets. You just never know. I mean, if I had different stuff too, like my neighbor traveled from New York and she has jewelry, and I feel like jewelry is kind of more of an easier sell. Like, people pick up jewelry more at these types of markets. So happy for her that she, you know, it works for her because she traveled so far. We'll see. We have another day, so I'm hopeful, but I'm just gonna unwind, take the rest of my makeup off, wash my face, do a sheet mask, and then go to bed as soon as possible so I could be refreshed for tomorrow. Good morning. It is day 2. I secured my parking spot close to the venue, so it's easy to load out. I am super tired, not gonna lie, very tired. I am on my first coffee. I'm gonna go find another one because this is not gonna hack it for today. I'm super tired, but I'm going to stroll. There's a farmer's market setting up. I don't think they're fully set up, but I'm gonna go find some coffee now. I'm hopeful for today. Hopefully there's a lot of things going on. I kind of feel like everyone was feeling it yesterday. Even the coffee shop that I got my coffee from was saying it was a little slow yesterday, and that's okay. Maybe people are going on vacation, and that's totally fine. So I'm hopeful for today. Just trying to get my energy up. These events could be so taxing on your body, especially you're doing it alone. You don't really have a break. So yeah, just trying to muster up the energy today. So let's have a good day, positive energy all around, and let's go set up my booth. So was the market worth it this year? Sales were decent and I got some love on my bestsellers, and I met some really kind, supportive customers, which always reminds me why I do this. But if I'm being honest, I didn't do as well as my last market. A few factors might have played into this. I did have a smaller booth this time, which limited how I could display my items and how people could move around. Attendance was also lower this year, and I felt that people were gravitating more towards small luxuries like candles and accessories rather than big investment pieces. And that's totally understandable, but from a maker's perspective, when you spent a full month designing, sewing, and pouring yourself into these one-of-a-kind pieces, it's hard not to get a little discouraged when that doesn't fully translate into sales. The physical and emotional toll it takes to do a market solo is real, and it definitely makes me think of how many of these I could take on each year. This market also reminded me why I'm shifting gears a little more towards digital patterns, tutorials, and teaching people how to create rather than me just producing all the time. But I'm still really grateful I got to do this one. The vibe at West Coast Craft is great. You are surrounded by other talented artists and small businesses, which is always inspiring. And even though this wasn't my highest revenue event, it was still valuable. My sales section helped me clear out older inventory, and markets like this help you get discovered by new people, follow you, and connect with your story. So if you're thinking of doing a craft market, just know it comes with ups and downs. It won't always be wildly profitable, but it can be incredibly rewarding in other ways. Pace yourself, stay flexible, and remember that connection, visibility, and community are part of the return too. Thanks so much for watching and being part of this journey with me. If you found this video helpful or relatable, please drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts or experiences. And until next time, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.